With wildfires flaring up almost daily, the last thing you want is for firefighters to have to hunt for water. Thousands of fire hydrants are strategically placed all around Austin to help save lives. But a KXAN News investigation finds hundreds of them are not working. Broken fire hydrants are scattered throughout the city, some in neighborhoods next to schools and businesses.
City policy requires broken hydrants to be repaired within 2 weeks. But our Sally Hernandez found some that are taking up to 1 year to fix.
It is the Austin Water Utility's job to inspect every fire hydrant in the city of Austin and repair and replace broken ones. It's a job so big they need help, and that's why the city council agreed to pay a contractor more than $1 million a year to inspect around 8,000 hydrants once a year. Well, that contractor is only halfway done this year, and already there have been more than 220 broken fire hydrants, and fixing them could be another problem.
That's crazy.
One after another.
It's not acceptable.
After another. We found this, fire hydrants covered in bags.
The plastic bag over the hydrant is basically a way to tell a fire truck that comes up to it at a fire to say, oh, that doesn't work.
And we found out there were 628 fire hydrants that did not work over the past 18 months in neighborhoods all over Austin, like this one right across the street from Audra Aker. She had no idea.
This isn't something that you go around and you're like, oh, a fire hydrant isn't working. You know, you don't think about that, but this is, this is really important stuff.
Every neighbor we asked with a broken fire hydrant next to them had the same thing to say.
That's scary for me knowing that that doesn't work, but more because my parents live right down the street, and if something happened to them, if they weren't safe because of the fire hydrant, that doesn't make me feel good.
Austin Water Utility is in charge of all 25,000 plus fire hydrants in Austin, including inspections. It's a load so heavy.
We go out and maybe do 10 or 15 hydrants a morning.
Austin firefighters have agreed to help out once a year because if a hydrant isn't working, they want to know.
So if that fire hydrant's out of service that's near that building that's on fire, then that means we have to go to a hydrant further away, and that takes more time to set that up.
And our KXAN News investigation found fixing those hydrants is taking a lot of time in some cases.
Critical and non-critical is the way that we categorize them in regards to how quickly we get to them. Critical ones, 24 hours.
Austin Water Utility spokesperson Jason Hill says critical cases can mean a number of things, like a leaking fire hydrant. But even in non-critical cases, he says
it is a reasonable amount of time that all of the requests are dealt with.
So we requested the work orders and looked at all 628 broken hydrants. We found only 49 were fixed in less than 24 hours, 103 fixed in a week, 202 were repaired in 2 to 4 weeks, 116 fixed in 1 to 3 months. But look at this. It took up to 3 to 9 months to repair 123 out-of-service hydrants, and more than a dozen were not fixed for up to a year. For Aker, that is not a reasonable amount of time to fix a broken hydrant.
That's something that we pay for. That's in our taxes, and I think that it should happen right away.
The hydrant across her street has been broken for more than 2 weeks.
I'm a mom, and I can't, I can't live that way in that kind of fear of something happening.
So far this year alone, hydrant repairs and replacement have cost taxpayers nearly $1 million. Now, we took the information straight to Fire Chief Rhoda Mae Kerr and asked if seconds count in fighting a fire. Then should you be worried if a fire hydrant near you is broken and not fixed for months? She's not.
Not chances are. You definitely will get water.
That's because there's a fire hydrant every 300 feet in commercial areas and one every 600 feet in residential areas. And Chief Kerr says one has got to work.
That's not close enough. That's not close enough to my house.
Audra and Julia say that is like playing with fire.
I know they get behind and I know they're busy, but that's our safety.
I filed a public information request to find out just what's taking so long with those repairs, and we'll bring you that information as soon as we get it. But get this, budget restraints we learned could force the water utility to cut out that $1 million contractor to inspect hydrants, but they warn if that happens, there will be even more significant backlogs and even more delays. As a result of our investigation, Chief Kerr tells us that the water officials and the fire department are now forming a task force to figure out how to fix those problems. In the studio, Sally Hernandez, KXAN News Investigates.